what's up? Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. The first of my story time videos, because, you know, I've been through some stuff. So, this particular story, it happened about 1.5 years ago when I started college the second time. And it's about someone in particular, and for everybody involved, I won't use their name. So I was at college, like starting college, and you can kind of imagine that everyone was pretty nervous during the first couple of weeks, just because new situation and new people and don't really know what we're doing, you know. And the thing to be aware of is that when I first started college, just like when I first started to socialise in, you know, after I moved town, is that I was living stealth at that point. So I was, like, presenting as female. Just for the sake of, I thought it would make things easier on everyone, including myself, because I'm using a feminine name, I'm using she, her pronouns, and I didn't want people to know from the get-go about me being trans. I wanted people to get to know me first, and then, you know, when I feel comfortable, that sort of time to say, oh yeah, you know, this about me. You might be able to pick up where I'm going after that little intro, because that didn't fucking happen. So, yeah, what happened was, in the first 2 weeks, everything went fine. Everything went absolutely swimmingly. And it was, you know, it was as good as could be expected. Week 3, this new girl turns up. And we didn't really know who she was, because she wasn't there for the past, you know, for the first 2 weeks of the course. And she, I can't even remember what it was, but we were paired together, and she used the wrong pronoun. She said he. Now, I can't imagine why. Don't have, like, facial hair. I wore makeup. I had very, very long, bright pink hair at the time. I was wearing the, you know, female's uniform, because there was, in fact, a male's uniform as well. Not that I knew that at the time. They just handed me the sheet and said, oh, yeah, you've got to buy these things. It's like, okay, fine. So I was fully presenting as female. So I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why or how she clocked me. So, she said he, and I'm like, did she say he? Or did she say she? I didn't quite hear. I thought, oh, okay, I'll let that slide. But if she does it again, the next time she did it again was in front of the tutor. And she said, oh, he blah blah blah, he blah blah, he blah, he. She just kept fucking using it. I'm like, okay, super awkward. So, tutor left, and I said, look, dude, you know, just please, mind your pronouns. The exact response, I'm not even kidding, was, what's a pronoun? Oh dear. Bear in mind, this is an adult course, and I'd already been made to feel very uncomfortable, and now she was made to feel very uncomfortable. I was like, great, that's just match made in heaven right there. So I told her that, look, everybody here uses she, her pronouns for me, and that she should also do that. But the thing is, the whole room went really fucking quiet at that point. So I'm like, oh, why the fuck is everyone staring at me? was just super, super awkward. And because we were paired up, for the next, like, 3 fucking hours, we had to do each other's hair. And I had to curl her hair, and she had to curl mine. And I was just sitting there, like, with her jabbing this freaking comb in my hair. Like, oh, God, I really want to die. Ground, swallow me up right now kind of feeling. So, that lunchtime, I kind of made my way, like, around the corner. Because, I need to go pee anyway. But I thought, right, I'm going to leave everyone to talk about what's just happened, because I've got the feeling that everybody else is going to need to have a conversation about what just freaking happened. And they did. And the absolute nicest thing happened was that everyone who had got to know me over the past 2 weeks stuck up for me, which was kind of fantastic. And I found this out later, of course. This particular girl, she did have issues with the whole, like, wrapping her head around the whole thing, I think, because I don't think she'd met anybody like me before. And she had the mindset of, you know, men should be men and women should be women and gender roles, stereotype, blah, you know. And that, unfortunately, it created a really bad atmosphere in the salon whenever she was there. Like, for me, I always felt awkward, and I'm pretty sure she always felt awkward as well. And over the course of pretty much the entire year, she was kind of an outsider. She was kind of isolated from the rest of the group, which I think was new to her. But her attitude was quite confrontational, and it was just like a dark cloud kind of hanging around her, like, oh my God, step back. It's, you know, her. Not saying the name. But we all kind of tiptoed around her. And it was uncomfortable when she was there. And this kind of led to another argument with somebody else at the course who I was really getting on with. And we like besties, hit it off instantly. And they had an argument, and that kind of caused more friction. And but story does have a positive, happy ending, because at the end of the year, like, you know, growing towards the end of the year, she did manage to integrate a bit more. She did manage to, I think she accepted that this is how I am, and she kind of realized that I have factors, information that I can contribute to a group. Just like everybody else, you know. And she eventually did kind of open up and did mesh a bit and integrate a bit. And although I think there's still some people who don't look fondly upon that time, at the very least, we all ended up in a place of civility, which is kind of the best that we could have hoped for at that particular as a particular outcome. So that is my lovely story about being misgendered. It's not the first time that ever happened to me, and I'm sure it won't be the last. Well, it wasn't the last, actually. But that really sticks out because of all the consequences that happened afterwards. So, anyway, I hope you managed to get something out of this story, and I do, I do genuinely not wish any bad feelings or harbour any bad feelings towards this person now. It's just, I think it was just a bit of a learning curve for her and for me to try and get to grips with different personality types. But I think it was mostly a learning opportunity for her, because she's also trained to be a hairdresser. She's gonna learn and like learn from and learn about and come into contact with lots of different types of people that are in this world. So I think it was ultimately a positive step. Anyway, that's been enough from me for today. More stories, more topics, more issues coming when I can be bothered, really. Ciao!